All righty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I seem to be running around in a circle like a lost dog or something like that. Trying to do too much too quick. Anyhow, here we go. Let's see what we got going on there. There's the dollar index. You can see it. It's still lifting up. But it, let me just put it on Chicago Quant too, because as you can see, the physical bar itself is dropping. Not that. Not that. There it is. Right there. See it right there? There it is. It's dropping. So the dollar is selling off today. There's constant talk now. I mean, as much as we've had enormous amounts of talk about the elections for the last 7 months, my God, it doesn't go away. Now let's talk of just finally they're starting to realize that obviously the market's been anticipating. It's one of the greatest Octobers of ever in history, I think. So that has people like, wait a minute, maybe the market is interpreting all the things we're seeing. It's like, oh, deep thought there, huh? But at the same time, yesterday they sold everything down in the currency pairs. We saw euro go down, cable, Aussie, what else? And we saw the reverse on the dollar pairs trade versus dollar Swiss and dollar yen. They went roaring up. So let's check them out too and see what's going on this morning here. But yeah, the flavor of the day is, I saw one wild headline. Let me just throw this out there too. One wild headline from like J.P. Morgan was the best 14-year rally ever in history, or tomorrow, going into tomorrow because of the Fed, communicating, or it says 8% crash. I mean, obviously they're not picking either side of it, are they? I mean, it's like one or the other. What if it does nothing? Will anybody really pay attention? So let me go to the chat line, see if anybody's there. There we go. And the answer to that is, I see Metho 2000. How about that last week with the Science Theater 3000? I know Metho, when I saw Metho 2000, I kept on hearing in my head that Science Theater 3000 in my head. I kept on hearing that throughout since you've been on the chat line throughout the years. So, anyhow, let's take a look at the euro and see what the euro looks like this morning. Because I was really surprised how they smashed them down when I was doing the numbers last night. I was like, whoa, that's a surprise. And there is the euro dollar pair trade, not dollar euro. And it's still showing weakness, huh? Let's see. Let's put it up over in here. Yeah, see, it's lifting up today. It's still a red dot, but it's still lifting up, and it's trying to get through the zero line. But just like on J4X, it's still showing the weakness. Now, what we're not seeing yet, but we will be seeing it soon. I'd imagine as long as we stay like this, sooner or later, this green line is going to start to turn up. So we're going to start to see that. But I was really surprised yesterday with all the slide. I think I'm down my list, where on my spreadsheet, it was like Aussie sell, cable sell, Euro sell for a couple of days, Euro GBP sell, Zloty, the Polish currency, PLN Euro sell. I mean, it was just like right down the row. They just kept on sell. So I was a little surprised there. All right, from there, let's take a look at the cable. Right there. And it's the cable dollar pairs trade, not the reverse, so you see that right there. You see the little weakness that we have going on, and let's see how it looks on Chicago Quant. See if the raw wrong one there. That's the CAD. Yep, see, it's doing the same thing. It's trying to lift up also. Also, at the same time, you can see over here on the right, you see it's actually plus for the day already. It's trying to get through. So we just need a green dot with it plus, and we get back into the buy. we saw the euro and the as I'm doing that circly thing with my mouse, on the weekly, both have climbed into weekly buys. So we're seeing some, push on the upside. Oh, I know what I wanted to say with this that's sticking out in my mind also at the same time is the metals market is starting to turn up again. And I keep on thinking, we're coming towards the end of this adventure and, the whole bit, basically in the sense of, maybe the interest rates are going to start to flatten out. Maybe they're not going to get as wild, or push them as hard after this particular raise. I'd imagine I am sure they're getting a lot of heat having to raise rates, 7 days before the election. I am sure because they've, someone was talking about it today. Powell, Yellen, they have been dancing to the political song. Bernanke to a great extent was dancing to the political song. In other words, Obama controlled him for all those years. 8 years, no increases in interest rates. And things were already, the world had been saved. Lloyd's of London was put in its proper place so it didn't disappear. Merrill Lynch was merged, it didn't disappear. Bear Stearns was merged, it didn't disappear. Citi was preserved, like Deutsche Bank was preserved, so they didn't disappear. I could go on and on and on. And so there was no reason to keep on flooding us with capital. There was none. But they did. They kept on flooding us with capital, and now we have inflation. All right, from there we'll go over to the Swiss, and you'll see the Swiss was marching up. Let's see if it's marching down. Right there. I see that. Let's see. Let's put it on Chicago. Right there. There you go. And so it's moving down. So it means it's gaining against the dollar. But it's been in the daily buy for 2 days, and this is the third day of the buy still. And we're still in that long weekly. They're not really letting this stuff go. Maybe we got to wait for the election to be over with. I don't know. But I keep on thinking we're going to see a stronger pairs trade and a weaker dollar. I really do. I think that's the answer to it all in the end. And then, when we get to CAD and South African Rand, we'll see the gold and silver. But the last I saw them, they looked very firm, very comfortable, very solid in the sense of, they were up and they were trying. I think one silver was in the daily buy, and they got gold up $17. They got silver up $82. So they're definitely reaching in for this stuff. They are. They're reaching for it. So, what else? And I guess we've got the. Now, is that right? They're saying that's palladium. Okay. No, that's platinum. They're saying platinum's down $19. Really? That must be yesterday. Let's just see what that is saying. Futures. I just want to check out the platinum. There's platinum. There's that. That's all over the place. Let's go put it up on here. I'm totally curious about the metals. Let's jump over to the metals real quick. Unless someone wants to see something. If someone wants to see something, we'll do that. But let's just jump. My mind is drifting into this stuff because I think these are all signs. So you can see here's the gold. It's going to be a green dot probably by the end of the day with no problem. But it's still not through the zero line. But the weekly has lost that sell side of it, and it's pushed back up into the weekly buy again, which is nice. Then you can see silver. Silver is that minus? Now it's minus again. When I did that at one point this morning, it was plus. We'll get rid of that for the moment. And you can see look at that. Almost a dollar full move. It's fighting its way into the buy. That's interesting. No line there. Let's put a line in there. Like there. There we go. So that's the way the action is. Now, let's go check out platinum. There we are. Yeah, and platinum's holding up nice too. Got into that weekly buy last week. We're seeing the action. This is what we've been talking about. When we get this in there first, it seems to carry the rest. So, hooray for us. All right, now back to the currencies, and let's go to, I guess we're heading over to the Turkish lira because we just did the Swiss. So let's see what the dollar Turkish lira looks like this morning right there. Put that up on J4X also. Let's see, where are you? Right there. And you see that pressure on the upside. It closed in a daily buy yesterday, still in a weekly buy for 39 weeks. We're just counting the weeks at this point. Will we see another 52-week weekly buy? We saw one 3 years ago when it was in the 13s, 14s, or was it the 11s or something like that. It did 53 weeks in a weekly buy. And it went from something like 8 or 9 to 14 or something like that. It was it caught the whole ride. Now let's take a look at it on the Euro Turkish lira, right there. Right there. And you see that weakness there. It's been in this. Did it close in a sell 2 days ago? Let's just double check there. No. So it was zeros across. Then yesterday it closed in the daily sell. Had a little wild swing going on there. And now it's trying to turn up, but still in the minus. And we closed in the weekly buy last week. We can get rid of that circle. And it seems to be holding up very well through the weekly buy. In the sense of the math is staying there. And you can see it's basically unchanged from Friday. Is that Friday? It's Thursday. So it's still trying to hold. Maybe it'll get into the buy. When it gets into the buy, then we'll see another push on the upside, which is kind of, I'm not even sure how to say it. It's, definitely, this currency, the only thing I can really say is that this currency is really becoming a very illiquid product, and it's very confusing. Because I know it's a big country. You would think that it would have more liquidity, but obviously not. All right, from there, we jump over to the Canadian, and we start to look at the commodities with currency pairs. Right there we go. There's the CAD. You see the CAD's moving down. So the dollar is gaining in value. I'm sorry, the Canadian dollar is gaining in value, and the U.S. dollar is going down. And at the same time, we have seen, there's the CAD, and at the same time, we did see oil moving nicely on the upside. So let's just show you the oil. That's not it. Right there, that's it. And there is crude with a green line running through up in the 88s. You can see that there. It's pushing with no problem and holding up in that weekly buy. Let's just take a look at it on J4X. Excuse me. Let's see. Right there. You see it's trying to get into the green. It's still red. And the green line has pierced down. This might clean itself up. If we stay up in this area, by the end of the day, we'll see it on J4X. It'll be into the plus. Let me take a sip of my tea. Yum. All right, so from there, we go over to the South African Rand, and I'm going to throw gold up on my screen here. There's gold. Let's put South African Rand up on J4X. Right there. So if gold is going up, we have to assume this product is trying to find a way to go down. You can see it over here. Oop. What did I do there? See it right there where the arrow is? You can see that it's red. It's red over there, so it's obviously going down. Actually says it's down 1.37%, 38%, something like that. Let's show it to you on Chicago Quant, since the hinkies are not really hiding it as well. And right there we are. and see that nice little push down. Just needs to break into the sell at this point. And that weekly is getting closer and closer to the zero line. Just the beginning of something we think is going to happen, and that is we think that we're going to see the interest rates kind of top out a little bit in here, and everything will start to become much more realistic again, I guess. A lot of people have made a good case of why do you have to destroy the economy? And that's the way they're looking at it, too. They're saying, why do you have to destroy the economy to cut down the inflation? Can't you just stop spending? Do you have to just keep on throwing money out the door day in and day out? In other words, maybe in an era where there were no derivatives and where volume was almost insignificant compared to what it is today. I mean, as I've said many a time here, when I was a young guy at the New York Stock Exchange, I remember saying, we would do 14 million or 15 million shares a day. That's all we were doing, 14 or 15 million, not billion, million. And they would be like, we made more money when we did 3 million shares a day. That's because volatility started to increase, and it really made it hard for them to trade, because to follow a trend in a volatile market is very hard. So, what's my point about all that? I had a point there for a second. So, at the same token, if interest rates start, that's what it is. Because if interest rates start to top out and they start to go sideways in here, that's going to be a stability, less volatility, less fear. And if you stop spending government money, and the new Congress is talking about, if they get elected, they are going to, what they call, claw back. They have the power to claw back the money that was spent. In other words, if it hasn't been spent already, they will claw it back and just put it, get rid of the loans, and that'll automatically make things stronger. I know that sounds strange, but yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's go to. So we looked at gold. Did we look at it? Yeah. We looked at gold, and there's the gold. The gold, yeah. All right. From there, we zip over to South African Rand. No. We did the South African Rand. We zip over to the yen. That's it. But I'm thinking, I think I'm supposed to do the yen after the Swiss, then go to the Turkish lira. That's what that rhythm kind of fits. So let's do this. Let's go over to the yen today on right there, and you can see it's still trapped in this situation. It's in a daily buy for one day, and it's going in the opposite direction, and we're in a weekly buy. So this is a loser. Happens once in a while. That's what's supposed to happen. Can't be right 100% of the time. We're 85 to 90% right. So, we got that volatility signal on Friday, and then yesterday we closed in the buy, and today they're driving it back down again, which makes sense, because if we're going to see a dollar that's being sold, that means more than likely interest rates are dropping, not rising. All right, and then, let's put it up on J4X too. J4X. It's J4X. There it is right there, the yen. You see it's still trying to lift. And the green line is moving smoothly still. That'll change in a couple hours, because you can see it here. Our green line is already turning down, and you can see the bar itself is playing with Friday's close at this point. Alrighty. From there, we go over to south of the border here. We're moving pretty fast today. Let's look at the Mexican peso. Right there. It had bounced off of the 19 something area. Let's see what it looks like here. Oh, we broke the bottom end of the range. Look at that. We're in that weekly sell. So let's see what the last time it banged through the bottom end of the range. Let's see how it looked. Let's see. Let's tighten this up. Okay, so back in May, they broke down below the range for about 2 weeks. And it just kind of hesitated down there and then turned back up again. So we'll see how they're doing there. You see here when it did, it only lasted for a day and a half, that type of thing. And then you see it was a 3-day event, basically a 2-day event when it broke the top of the range. This is where Mr. Biden was down in Mexico. So that was like 5 days of crazy. You know, how Biden can be. And then, it was like, I don't know, like 9-10 days, 2 weeks, and then finally dropped back inside the range again. That was in 21. And you can see here it's cruised along the range for off and on. So I think you can see all those, can't you? Yeah. All right, so Mexican peso is doing a little more drift. Now that we've thought that the part of the reason why a lot of these products found their way out of their range was mainly because of the inflation. So it's going to be kind of curious to see how they play this out. Because the new election, and the new Congress, if elected, is going to basically cut back on the inflation. They're just going to stop all this wild spending. All right. And that pretty much does it for the currencies. I'm going to just close that out since no one seems to be asking about a currency. But if you ask, I will provide. Now let's jump over to... Well, let's do the metals. There's gold lifting up nicely. But we still need this to get through the zero line. Probably the best thing of all is this thing has fallen back above the zero line here on the weekly. So that's a good thing. Then we go over to silver. There's silver, looking extremely firm in every which way. And this, unfortunately, was plus for a while, now has gone minus. So we're waiting and see how that is. But today's what? Tuesday. This is Cheesesteak Tuesday. That's what I call it. Cheesesteak Tuesday. We go to the farmer's market, and we have a cheesesteak at lunchtime. That's my favorite. Cheesesteak Tuesday. All right. Boy, did they make a good cheesesteak. All right. From there, we go over and take a look at copper. Oh, and let's put we didn't do this. Let's put silver up on J4X. See how it's looking this morning. It should be starting to turn up too. There it is right there. Yeah, green. Cool. This is going sideways or a little tilt in the upward direction, so we're watching that. And what else can we say about that? I guess that's pretty much the action we're getting out of the metals market there. Now from there, let's look at gold too. We didn't do gold. Let's just do gold. It's trying to get into the green there. Let me just go back to gold here. So yeah, as the daily is not in a buy yet, but is lifting up. We're seeing the same thing here on J4X, and at the same time, let's put the weekly in there. See if there's some green developing. Not yet. Let's move this out of the way. Yeah, you can see that. It's trying to turn. Now let's go over and take a peek at copper. Right there. That's the weekly. Let's see how it looks on the weekly on our copper. Right there. There's copper. And you can see the weekly. We closed in a weekly buy last week, and it's doing the same thing here. It's holding up nicely. Where's that mouse at? There it is. And the green line turned up like 5 weeks ago. And you had a green and then a couple of reds, and then still in a green. So it's definitely not telling you to be short, that's for sure. And what else can we say about this? I guess we just need a little bit more pop, and since it's Tuesday, Cheesesteak Tuesday, what we'll do is we'll see by tomorrow, more than likely this thing, if it stays around this area, we're going to see this thing into the plus. I understand Blinken. I guess Blinken is our Secretary of State. I guess he was giving the what twos to the Chinese. And they were saying we were being unreasonable about, I guess, some of the things we're limiting them to buy. Oh, and they want chips. I guess we have the big chips. The most efficient. I guess most the processing. I don't know. They're upset. We're not selling them chips now. So they can learn to go to Taiwan and buy the smaller chips, but to get the top of the line, I don't know. It sounds like we manufacture, computer chips on a larger scale for the processing side or the thinking side. Maybe it's the thinking side, like the memory slash, and then I guess Taiwan must manufacture like the basic chips for cars and stuff like that, and they must make a sea of them. So everybody's dependent on them around the world. But I understand Blinken was telling China this morning. The reason why I'm mentioning that is copper. Usually when copper's doing well, China's doing well. And I guess you could say when we tighten up copper now, let's just do this, go back like 5 months or something. Yeah. I mean, you can see back in June, it's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months ago. In June, copper was trading at like, 475, 460, 450, that area. And when we slide it over even more, you can see we were in the $5 area, up in here. So, when we know that China is getting beat up financially. I mean, the evergreen and so forth, the real estate. We know that things are not the best they could be financially in China. So when we see copper, we expect copper to be like that. In other words, we think, okay, if China's having its issues, then that would make sense. At least it would make sense to me, So, let's see. Let's do this. Let's see. Let's go like that. There we are. And that's kind of like the answer to it all. When we look at the copper market in particular, it's kind of different than the other three metals markets of platinum, gold, and silver. It shows us more of how China's doing. And we all know that, China's been, I understand that evergreens, they I guess some foreign corporations got away with it. I'm surprised China didn't declare international war. They took possession of some major real estate in Hong Kong because, they defaulted. So the number one real estate organization in China is defaulted. We talked about that here, I don't know, 5-6 months ago. It would only take like $3 billion to clean it up. I don't understand why they don't. It's very confusing why they do those things, the Chinese government. All right, and then last but not least, obviously we looked at platinum. Let's do it again. Right there. And this way we've really looked over all the metals. Battling its way back up. It's been in a daily buy since like right here. And it's been in the weekly buy from last week. So we were really, kind of figuring that we were going to see some really good stuff going on in the metals complex because it jumped into the buy before, silver, before gold. Well, actually, gold. Where's gold? Gold is in a buy, isn't it? Yeah. Gold's been in a buy for like 3 weeks. So that's... But when it jumps in before silver, usually it brings the rest of the market up. So we'll keep an eye on that. All right, from there we jump over to the energy sector. Let's take a look at the energy sector. Let's see what North Sea is doing this morning. Since the States, we're up at 90. Let's do the guessing. So we're at 88. They're probably at 95. Yeah, there it is, 95.19. A couple of days of green. That's the weekly. And let's go check out the daily. There's the daily. Still having a little issue trying to get going in there, but it's up pretty good today. It's up at almost 3%. And then obviously when we look at right there, there's a this is up. How much is that up? That's up $2.60. It's an interesting move, and obviously 3 weeks in the buy, just like J4X. Now let's take a look at the back month. February. So this is trading at $89 a barrel. I would assume we'll see it at around 86 and change for February. 86.57. So it's a little about $2.60, something like that. Yeah, $2.60. $2.60. That's not too bad. So it's a little under, the contango going on there. And you can see now once we get rid of that red dot, we're going to be in the daily buy again there too at the same time. It's pretty much the way it seems to be playing out. All right. Let's see. What else can we do? I guess that's fine enough there. Now let's jump over to natural gas. There's the natural gas holding up second day, but look at this long run since mid-September. From the $9 area in the States here, it's come down as low from $9 and change down to basically 540, basically 540. It's a big drop from $9 to 540. It's like a 40% drop. Obviously, Europe would love that, and we would love Europe to have that. You can see it's trying to firm up a little bit in here because there's some cold weather coming, but overall, it's not really budging. Now, take a look at the same thing on J4X. Okay, what do we got here? We got natural gas on J4X right there. You see it at the 590 thing, and it's down for the day. And it's trying to lift up. You can see all that green there. We closed in the daily buy yesterday, like that. And it's still holding up pretty well, and this thing's breaking through. What else can we say about natural gas? I guess that's about it. Now let's take a look at the Spanish company. It's been trading in the 25s. Sure would love to see that thing break down again. It got down to 22 and change. Let's go there. Ouch. 26.17 offered. 26.13 bid for. Kind of hoping that this thing was going to start to roll over a little bit, but not yet. Still not yet. And I guess that's part of the issue there is that Europe is going to have have to deal with this situation. Well, I think that once I understand the new Congress is going to start exporting natural gas too. So we're going to keep an eye on that at the same time. This election is going to bring a major change to everything. All right, from there. Let's see, so we did the company. Okay, we're pretty much done the energies. Anybody care to see anything? I guess if not, we'll jump over to, let's take a look at the stock indices. Let's see, so let's do this. Let's do the intraday real quick, and you can see the S&P 500 is up 39 right there. Where's it at? Right there it is, right there. 39.25 right now. And the high today is, what is the high? The high is, it's in here somewhere. There's the high, 28. So it's about 6 points off its high. You can see this is one of our bigger intraday charts. So, it went into the sell, I guess like right there, and you can see the pressure on it, and it went down. It's usually the way it does that. Now let's go look at the daily chart itself. There's the S&P 500. You can see it's up. It's up 39 points there, as you see, in the second week of the weekly. So there's definitely pressure there, and this is a Fed week too at the same time. So we are, I guess you could say we are on the edge of our seat, just waiting to see what it all says in the end. Let's go take a sip of the tea again, since no one's asking any questions. That's good. Nothing better than the cold season tea. There we go. All right. From there, we'll go over to the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's see where you are. Right there. This has been, we talked about this for all month long, or maybe even longer. I've been saying it. This is where money wants to go. They want to go into the industrials, and they have. It's been it's November 1st now, so you can see the, let's see, where is it at? Right there. So October started, is that October 1st? Yeah, October 1st started with the Dow Jones Industrial Average at 28,821. That was where it closed on the 1st. And yesterday it closed at 32,768. So that is 28. So that's like 3,180. Yeah, something like that. 3,000. So you're looking at 32,768. That's 2,768 points. 3,768 points. So 3,900 points. Almost 4,000 point move in a month. They're saying it's the best October in history. The Dow's been around for 130 or 140 years at this point. All right, and you can see, we've been in a weekly buy in this thing for 3 weeks. It's, it's just been marching along very happily on the upside. And we went into the daily buy here. When did it get into the daily sell? Went into the daily sell here, went right back. So it only did this for the whole month. It went into a daily sell for 1 day. That's it. Is that right? No, that's not right. There you go. So it went into the daily buy here. Let's put that in. So on the third day of the month, it went into a buy right there. There we are. And then it went into the sell here. And it was trading, maybe up 300 or 400 points basically. And then it jumped back into the buy right here. Oh, there's the line. The line's in there already. I guess I was emphasizing it a lot with that. And then, let's make it thicker or something. There we are. And then it went into the buy here on, what is that? That is the 14th of the month. Went into sell for 1 day right there. And then we went into the weekly buy and a daily buy again. And it never went into the sell again. So it rode that whole ride all the way in like that. Very interesting, very bullish, very, very cool. Okay. Let's just go save. So I don't have to do that again. All right. And then, let's see what it looks like over on J4X. Oh, we didn't even do S&Ps over there. So let's do S&Ps too. So there's the S&P. You can see the strength in that's been going on for a while. Zigzagging in and out of stuff. And now let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there. Same. Look at that. Look how strong that was. Just marched along. When was that? That was the 12th. So it went into the buy, I guess, right there. Is that the 12th? No. What was that? There's the 13th. So it went into the buy somewhere around here on that. And it never let go. I mean, it zigzagged in and out. You had the green line break the stochastic, then get above the stochastic again, and break below the stochastic again, making it a little bit more challenging. But wow, when you look, if you're watching this webinar and watching both charts, well then obviously, that's a lot. It's much better, Definitely much better. Good insight, the whole bit. Matter of fact, we've had some clients call today. Robin said, because they're been following the S&P and so forth, and they were getting long there, I guess, yesterday or the day before or something like that. So that is what it is. All right, from there, what's this? Cool. What a great picture. Let's share that. Can I share that? I guess I can share that. Let's do that. I just saw a great picture come by. I just want to share it up on the Facebook. Yes, there we are. So, let's see. So what's left on the stock indices? Let's drift over to the Tech 100, which was really, we told you over and over again, it's very interest rate sensitive. So it was only up 4% for the month. Is it 4%? No. It's what is it? It's or maybe it is. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe it is 4% for the month. And I think S&Ps were up 8%, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average was something like 15%. So now let's go to NQs right there. NQs have been having a hard time getting rolling along. Matter of fact, you can see there is October, and they pretty much almost closed unchanged to the October situation. So it might not even be 4%. You can see they're trying to climb into the weekly buy this week. We've been in a daily buy for 2 days. This is the third day, and it's not doing its best job of lifting. There we go. That's funny. There we are. Now let's get that NQ up on J4X. Right there. And it's very cash interest rate sensitive. So it's been very hard for this product to basically do much more than that because of the interest rates. Maybe now, if we'll see what the Fed does tomorrow. Everybody's watching. If the Fed does its 75 and then gives us some guidance into lower rates over the next, let's say they start to observe. They give us some type of opinion, like they're going to observe and invest, and go through the numbers and see what's going on. They do something like that. That could be very positive. That could be a very explosive move. So, but they need to do the 0.75 again. That's for sure. All right. And what we could do is we should take a look at the weakest of the stock indices here in the States, and there it is right there. That is this is the Russell 2000, and the Russell 2000 started the month off basically at 1718 basically. All right, and it finished off 1718. So it did 160 points for the month, which is like 100 points is 10%. So this was like I want to say this was about an 8% gain. It was a pretty good gain out of it. Is that right? 1716 to 1871. 1871. Let's just double check that. That's today, though. It's there. It was really 1852. So 130 points. So it's about a 6.5% move, which is pretty good. And you can see, and this is usually when speculative buyers, in other words, funds start to think, okay, I can throw a few dollars at something that doesn't have a lot of any earnings at all, and just doesn't have growth, but it could in the future. Speculative companies, that's the answer to it all. That is the answer. All right. Let's see. What do we got going on from here? From there, we drift over to. Where are we drifting over to? Let's go to Bitcoin. This is like the other equity, in a sense. It's the what did they used to say when they used to talk about chicken and white and pork? They used to say the other white meat. That's what they used to refer to as pork, the other white meat. And so this is Bitcoin. Bitcoin started the month off in October in the 19,425, and it picked up almost 2,000 points, going into. I guess it was. There's Monday. There's Friday. Okay, so this. Oh, I know what it is. We have to change contracts. Oops, we forgot all about that. We got to change contracts because now that's October and it expired. So we are now in November. So let's get the November contract in there. I meant to do that yesterday. I know I forgot something. There it is. And that would be X for November. There we go. So the November contract started off the month at 19,425. It traded. I saw Bitcoin even higher, like 21,500, but this is not reflecting that type of action. But you can see there we got up to 21,000. So kept in pace, I want to say, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, or even a little bit better. You can see the last day or two has been a little bit weaker. Did we get into the buy? I guess we went into a buy there. Let's put that in. So we went into a buy there, then went into a sell again right there, and then right back into a buy again 3 weeks back. Right there. Let's fix that. There we are. Okay, there we are. Wow. Interesting. Wow. Okay, so that shows you where the Bitcoin is. And like I said, we're expecting to see this stay steady with the rest of the currency, the stock indice market itself. And it has been. It's been a really good tool doing that. It really has. I guess pretty much we're looking at, it would be nice to see if everything plays out right, we'll probably see a Bitcoin in the 23,000 area possibly. Maybe it'll come out and take that top out, something like that. 22.5 to 23, that still would be a fantastic move. Just fantastic. And you can see it's trying to get back. It went into a sell yesterday. No, wait a minute. How's that? How do we have a second? It can't be that. Let's fix that. Setting. Did that fix it? Yeah, that fixed it. There we are. And so there's the first. Okay, so it's still in the buy. Okay, it hasn't gone into the sell. And so we're seeing that strength there. We got that volatility signal from here. Well, looks like the cryptos are doing their job. They are following the equity market or leading it, I guess you could say. Sometimes we thought they were actually leading the market. All right, from there we drift out to, let's see, we've done the stock indices, we've done the metals, we've done the energies. What else we got to look at? Anybody care to see anything particular, or how about like an Apple computer, or something like that, or any particular product that would be like to be seen? But, it is what it is. And that's where we are. Now, where do we go from there? Let's see. Let's just see what we have in our quill now. Nikkei. I'm sure Nikkei is looking good. Look at that. That's Nikkei today. It's been in a buy since here. What's wrong with that? Let's fix that side thing. Format, price scale. That's it. And make it white. That's what it is. There we are. So you can see that this product has done very well. Wow, look at the month. This month, from the 25, what was that? That was the first, right? So on the last day of the month in September, we had the Nikkei close at 26,165, and now it's trading at 27,735. So, not bad. What is that? That's like a 3% gain for the whole month. That's pretty good for currency. When we go back and look at that currency, it's like rolling over that same time period. There it is right there. I mean, it started rolling over in the middle of the month, but it had been gliding up. Now let's go back to the stock indice and see how much of an effect. Oh, not there. Right there. It did that thing in the middle where it sold down, and as the yen went up, got it more expensive. It went. I guess it's the other way around. It went down, so it topped out. So it topped out here on the 21st, and then looking at the stock indice, what is that? Like the 19th, or that's the 14th. There's the 15th. The 21st is like over here. So as the yen started to sell, gain against the dollar, you can see the stock indice took off even more. It took off from the, 27 and change, almost 26,000, 27,000 area. It gained another 700-800 points, and that's pretty good. The yen really started to show even more strength in there. All right, and then let's see what else we got in the quill of the equity universe. I guess that's about it. That is about it. All right, traders. Everybody be out there, be smart, and be safe. And what we will do is we will catch you all tomorrow, same time, same channel, which will be Hump Day to Hump Day, not Cheesesteak Tuesday. And happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. All right, traders, later. Be safe, be smart. And remember, it's a Fed Tuesday, Wednesday. So try not to get trapped in anything. No getting handcuffed. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, that headline we saw earlier, it could be as crazy as one of the greatest moves on the upside, and at the same time, it could be an 8% slam on the downside. That's how people are viewing this out at Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan and so forth, the trading desks. All right. Arrivederci.